time now for everybody's favorite guessing game, What's My Line? Brought to you by Remington Rand, makers of the world's #1 electric shaver, the Remington. Now, let's all play What's My Line?
Now, let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, the popular columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in the New York Journal-American and papers coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
And on my left, an old friend, a charming comedian, and bestseller writer, the book being Treadmill to Oblivion, Mr. Fred Allen.
Thank you. Thank you, Dorothy. Not too old a friend, I hope. And on my left, ladies and gentlemen, the only Hollywood glamour girl who has made one Tony last for 5 years out there, Miss Janet Leigh.
Thank you. And on my left, a gentleman who has always been my idea of what a successful book publisher should look like, Mr. Bennett Cerf.
Thank you, Janet. And I must tell you, Janet, that when I told my friends in Houston Thursday that you were going to be on the program tonight, they got so excited they started throwing oil wells all over the place.
I should have a percentage.
And that gentleman you see over to my left, that's not a mirage. That's our panel moderator. And he's particularly happy tonight because he and his wife, Kit, are celebrating their 18th wedding anniversary tonight. John Charles Davis.
Bennett, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line. We have a lovely, and I'm quite sure a most able new panelist with us tonight, so we've gone out of our way to see if we can test her skills and Fred Allen's skills and Dorothy's and Bennett's with some very interesting occupations. We'll have a famous guest challenger a bit later on, too. But I think right now it's time for these experts to meet our first challenger whose line must be spotted. So would you sign in, please, ma'am? Juliet Stephan, is it? If it wasn't my 18th wedding anniversary, I'd say, don't we make a fine-looking couple? Well, let me see. Is it Miss or Mrs. Stephan?
Mrs.
Mrs. Stephan,
Right.
where are you from?
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Well, that's real nice. That accounts for that wonderful tan you've got. Wish I had it, too.
Thank you.
Well, over there is the panel. They look somewhat formidable, but don't be concerned. They're real nice people, and they would like to get a better look at you. So will you take a hike down there for me, please?
Have you read my book? Just asking, I mean.
Will you come over here, please, and sit down? And as you may know, the panel gets one free guess as to what your line may be, and we'll begin the free guesses with Miss Kilgallen.
I think she teaches the mambo.
Teaches the mambo, Mr. Allen.
I was going to say that. Dorothy took it out of my mouth, and it's unsanitary to do a thing like that. I was going to say that she was a mambo consultant, actually.
Miss Leigh?
She models bathing suits.
Mr. Cerf?
I think Juliet has all the Romeos in Fort Lauderdale running after her.
This is probably for sure, but it's not the answer we were looking for, although you might have been interesting, some of you. We'll let our viewers at home have a further look at Mrs. Stephan. At the same time, we will tell them what her line is, but the panel will have to work it out. All right. Mrs. Stephan, do you know how we score this operation?
Yes, I do.
Fine, then I won't have to go through that. Sometimes I get letters saying, why don't you stop telling every time how you score this thing? So I won't do it this time, all right?
Okay.
All right, Mrs. Stephan is salaried. And let's begin the general questioning with Fred Allen.
Miss Stephan, do you deal in services?
Yes, I do.
In services, do you really? Do you, is there a product involved in what you do?
Yes.
Is this a useful product? I
Yes.
hope it is useful.
Yes.
Is it, could you construe this product as being decorative too?
Sometimes.
It is decorative?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Is it about the size? Is it something that if I were in the mood, and could I lift it up and hold it in my hand?
Yes.
Is it something that could be used by both sexes?
Yes.
Is it conceivable that I, sometime during my life, would find the need of services of this nature?
Could be.
Could be.
Do you have an office where you indulge in these services with this? No. I was going so well, John, I confused myself.
You want to start that one all over again, Fred?
No, I generally don't get this far, and the altitude brought on a mental nosebleed there. I was so high up in my. Well, tell me, is this product something that might be found in the home?
Yes.
Would it be confined to one particular room in the home?
Yes and no.
You have two rooms.
Yeah, that's a
enough?
very fair answer on Mrs. Steffen's part. Actually, I think what she is intimating there, Fred, is that to the degree that it's not in use, it might be confined to a general area in the home, whereas when it's in use, it could, be found elsewhere. Was that what you meant?
John, I must caution you. The essence of comedy is brevity, and the plight of the midget are the same thing. And I'm further confused now, actually. Is this something that's made of this product? Is it something that's made of metal?
Yes.
So you mean made in the main of metal? We want to.
Made in any other state at all. If it's made of metal, it
Oh
could be.
no!
Don't ridicule. Maine is the only state with a bath, It's the only. But,
I mean, Fred, we want to be helpful. Do you mean is the thing basically made of metal rather than is? Oh,
No.
basically. Thanks
No.
very much. That's
No.
one down. Nice to go, Miss Leigh.
I knew it. I would be
Is
undone.
this product manufactured?
Yes.
Is it made of cloth?
Yes.
Does it come in contact with the body?
Yes.
Would it be wearing apparel of any kind?
Yes.
Would you find this in a department store?
Yes.
You're going great.
Is it used? Ooh. Let's see. Is it used for a special event, kind of?
No. No.
No, I don't think you could say it was used for a special event. 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Sir.
Mrs. Steffen, did I understand correctly that this could be worn by either sex?
Yes, it can.
The general category, yes.
If it was worn by, let's say, somebody on this panel, would it be visible in public?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, you mean it wouldn't be visible even if we were standing up?
No, what actually we're doing there is we're presuming that Bennett means if this were worn by a member of the panel, would it be visible to the eye?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it would not in itself be visible. This is not to gainsay that there might be some manifestations of its presence, but not necessarily the naked eye.
And this is worn by both sexes.
Can be, yes. Right?
Can be.
Is it usually worn more by one sex than another?
That's right.
And does it improve the appearance in some way?
Sometimes.
It is generally considered to do so, yes.
Well, is the wearer hopeful that it will improve the appearance?
Yes.
If I were wearing it, I would wear it under my dress. Is that right?
Yes.
Is it worn next to the skin?
Yes.
Is it worn in general around the middle of the body? Or partially around the middle?
Partially.
Partially.
Does it have any constricting force or...
Sometimes.
Would you buy it in a lingerie shop?
Yes.
Would you buy it from a corsetier?
Yes.
Is it something in the undergarment, but usually with elastic or lastex family?
Yes.
Would it be called a girdle?
Yes.
Yes, that's the product.
Yes.
That's very good. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We may trip you up yet. What is Mrs.
I
Steffen?
realize this is not the end.
Yeah, what
Well,
is...
she works in an office.
What was
Beg
that?
your pardon,
Oh,
Miss Kilgallen. What does Mrs. Stephan have to do with
Well,
this?
she said she worked in an office.
No, it was asked if she worked in an office. The question was withdrawn. As a matter of fact,
Oh, I
no
see.
answer given.
Well, do you have something to do with the girdle after it is manufactured?
Yes.
Do you sell it?
Sell girdles? No. That's 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Allen.
Do you model girdles?
That's right. That's why when you said model bathing suits, Miss Leigh, I thought you were going to go running wild when we got to you, but you didn't. Thank
John,
heaven.
can I say something?
You sure may.
I don't know if Miss Leigh remembers, but I met her, or I didn't meet her, but I saw her getting on the train in Chicago and getting off here in New York.
Oh, hi.
And just goes to show, small world. Small world. Always making aphorisms. Well, we hope you enjoyed your visit with us.
I
It was very
certainly
nice
did.
having you.
Thank you very
Nice
much.
of you to come to What's My Line. Good night. All right. Panel, let's see what you can do with the second challenger. Would you sign in, please, sir? Victor Jackson, right, sir? How are you? Where are you from, sir?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Well, now, we just had somebody from Florida, we got somebody from California, and it hasn't been a war around here. This is wonderful. Would you let the panel get a closer look at you and take a walk down in front of the panel for me?
Sir?
How do you do?
Thank you. A little smog on you. I just... Left over from the Rose Bowl, I guess.
Will you come over here with that smog and sit down next to me, please? All right, now, Mr. Jackson, as you probably know, the panel gets 1 free guess as to what your line may be. We'll begin the free guesses with Miss Kilgallen.
I think he's a tree sprayer.
A tree sprayer, Mr. Allen.
I think Mr. Jackson is Carl Sandburg's barber.
Miss Leigh.
I think he has something to do with law.
With law, Mr. Cerf.
I think possibly Mr. Jackson looks after the budget on Miss Lee's motion picture.
No, nobody has it. We'll let our viewers have a further look at Mr. Victor Jackson. At the same time, we'll tell them what his line is, but the panel's got to dig. All right. Mr. Jackson, you know how we score this operation, do you?
I do, Mr.
That's
Butler.
fine. I don't have to give the explanation tonight, I don't think. Mr. Jackson is salaried, and let's begin the general questioning with Bennett Cerf.
Mr. Jackson, you're a gentleman of great dignity, if I may say so, and I would warrant a guess that you're a college man. Are you a college graduate?
No.
1 down and 9 to go. Miss Kilgallen.
Do you work for a profit-making organization?
Yes.
Would you say you were a white-collar man?
Yes.
Not at the moment.
Got a blue shirt on. Gray shirt, I guess.
Wait for the smog here.
Do you work indoors more than outdoors?
Which one is the answer?
Yes, do you work indoors rather than outdoors?
Yes.
Do you ever work behind a desk or a counter?
No.
That's
Fred?
2 down
You're
and 8
on.
to go. Mr. Allen.
Well, do you deal in services of any nature?
Yes.
Do you work in Los Angeles and live in Los Angeles?
Yes.
You work in Los Angeles. Are you, what you do, does it require any special training or skill?
Yes.
Do you, is it something that you'd be concerned with motion pictures?
No.
This is not concerned with
he
motion
says that
pictures.
as though he's...
Beg pardon, Fred?
He's proud of not being in motion pictures. It might upset Miss Leigh here.
It doesn't happen that Mr. Jackson's work is directly connected with motion pictures. 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Leigh.
May I ask something?
Yes, surely.
Conference?
Yes.
Conference.
Huddle. I had to ask, did we find out if he was...
You got to speak up in the conference because I have to hear what's said.
Oh, did we
Tough
find
luck.
out if there was a product connected with
Yes.
the service?
Oh, did we?
No.
No, we didn't. Go ahead.
Is there a product connected with their service?
This part?
Is there a product connected with your services?
Product, yes.
Is this product found in the home?
Yes.
Is it found in any particular room of the home?
Yes.
Usually, yes.
Yes.
Would that room be the living room?
Yes. Could be.
Living room. Is the product manufactured?
Is it what?
Is the product manufactured?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do both men and women use it?
Yes.
Is it something movable, as opposed to something that, like a sofa, if you sit it usually kind of stays?
You mean in this context, is it movable in the context of something light enough to pick up and move around easily?
Yes.
Can be moved.
That's
yes.
fine. It can be, but in that context, the answer would be no. 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Stern.
Mr. Jackson, is this object ever used for either entertainment purposes or improving the conditions in the room in which it stands?
Yes, could be.
Or which one?
Don't tell him.
No, I'm study fully. Would this be used for any kind of entertainment purposes?
Yes.
Do any kind of sounds come out of it?
Yes.
Do any kind of pictures ever shown
No.
on it?
That's fine.
Only
5
sound.
down and 5 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, is it either a radio or a phonograph?
I beg your pardon?
Is it either a radio or a
A
phonograph?
radio or a phonograph?
No.
No. That's 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Allen.
But it's used for entertaining purposes.
Yes.
Well, there's so many things available to entertain people in Los Angeles. This could almost be anything. Could almost be a metallic relative, actually. Is it something that's mechanically operated?
No.
It isn't, huh?
It's 7 down and 3 to go, Miss Leigh. There is, in some rare occasion, I believe, a record that this has been mechanically operated, but the basic product itself is usually not mechanically operated. Miss Leigh.
Did we establish...
May we have a conference?
You may have 10 seconds for a conference. I'm going to give you one more
Didn't he say
minute.
that sounds came out
Yes.
of this?
Yes. Did we establish the size of it in any
Well,
way?
it can't
No,
be
it
carried
can't be
around.
carried
It can't be
around
carried
easily,
around.
no.
It can be pushed around, I gather.
Oh.
All right, the 10 seconds are up. Miss Leigh.
Is this decorative?
In a sense.
It would
In a
be...
sense, wouldn't you say, Mr. Jackson?
I didn't get the question.
Is it decorative?
Yes.
Is it in the living room? Is it in sight, or is it
Is it in sight?
is it normally in
Yes.
sight?
Yes.
I have to think. I pass.
All right, Mr. Sir. 30 seconds.
Does this machine, Mr. Jackson, reproduce something?
Not of its, no.
No, it doesn't reproduce.
I mean,
no,
it's like a typewriter or something of the sort.
No,
to
it's not a
reproduce
typewriter.
things.
That's 8 down and 2 to go, Miss Dorothy.
Is it a musical instrument of any kind?
Yes.
Is it a musical instrument that's played by a person?
Yes.
Is it something other than a piano?
No.
I flipped the cards. It's a piano. And actually, Mr. Jackson is a piano tuner, and currently he is the gentleman who tunes Liberace's pianos. All of his pianos on the West Coast. Sir, you get the 4 cards. Thank you,
John, before Mr. Jackson leaves, couldn't we see his teeth?
And now, in just a moment, we'll meet tonight's mystery. Now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity. My friends in the panel have blindfolds for this part of the program. Are they all in place, panel?
Yes, sir.
Ready.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? All right, panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery challengers, we get right down to the general questioning. You all ready to play? Good. Take off your masks.
Huh?
Our guest is Tony Curtis, and unhappily, we were going to play some big jokes on you tonight, and Tony was to be our mystery guest, but somebody found out about it, and it was in a paper in the Midwest, so Tony was nice enough to say he didn't feel it would be fair to play, but he wanted to come and say hello anyway.
Hi.
So, Tony, thanks very much for coming up to see us. What brings you and your lovely... Hey, she's doing great. Did you notice?
Yeah.
You hear the... Doing
Wonderful,
wonderfully.
dear.
What brought you all to New York?
Well, this is kind of a vacation and also a little work. I'm on my way to Boston for the opening of my latest picture, 6 Bridges to Cross.
Oh,
and that'll be opened in Boston January 19th, isn't it, dear? Yes, next
About the
week.
Brink
Good thing
case.
you had your wife
Pardon
here.
me?
Is it about the Brink murder?
Yes, it's the
robbery?
Brinks robbery. Well, we're not supposed to really say that, but it's...
You
bring the
didn't
money
say it.
back?
Strike that from the record.
Yeah. It's about the Brinks robbery in Boston.
You bring the money back in the picture?
Pardon me, sir?
You bring the money back in the picture?
Well, Tony, thanks a lot for coming to see us. You got a bridge to cross. Will you say hello to your bride and the other folks? Good to see you. All right. Now we come to another special feature on tonight's show, the appearance of a second mystery celebrity. My friends on the panel, please get your masks back on right away as quickly as you can get them on. Let me know when the blindfolds are all in place. We have only
This
about
is two
4
for the
minutes
money,
to play,
I think.
and I want to see if you can identify these. Bennett,
Janet,
come on, get them on.
Janet, you were never married before, were you?
All set? All right, will our second
Everything's
mystery
fine.
challenger come out and sign in, please? All right, panel, now you have a little over 3 minutes to see if you can guess our second mystery guest. Let's begin the general questioning with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Are you in some form of entertainment?
Yes.
Have you ever been in the motion pictures?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Allen.
Have you been in television?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss
Where have
Lee.
you been working? Currently.
Have you been on a Broadway stage?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Sir.
Well, have you been in radio?
No.
4 down
Good
and
Lord.
6 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Are you a sporty type fellow?
Yes.
Athlete? That's
Yes.
why you're not bothering to disguise your voice. Are you part of a game which is played out of doors and indoors?
Yes.
Is it something that 2 people can play and 4 people can play?
Yes.
Is it tennis?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
Would you say something else?
Say something else.
Yes.
Are you?
Say something else.
Do you have, are you, besides being a player, in an executive capacity?
Yes.
Are you American?
Yes.
Are you Billy Talbot?
Well, That's wonderful. That's very good indeed. I thought we'd give him a lot more trouble.
Too bad
than
that man in the Middle West didn't guess Billy, and we could have a third one.
Well, Billy Talbot, I don't think I have to tell you because I think you know the whole country is ragingly proud of what you and your good colleagues did in Australia, bringing the Davis Cup back to these
Thank
parts.
you, John.
And I know that I think it's something that needs a little bit of attention. And it is true, I think, in almost every human endeavor, the man who is the tactician and strategist has a very great deal to do with who comes back with the bacon. And as you all know, Bill Talbot was the non-playing captain of our team, and he's the man who set down the strategy and the tactics that brought home the bacon for us. So I want to say thanks and say how proud I am to get a chance to shake your hand so soon after you got home.
Thank you,
Good
John.
to see you, sir.
I'd like to say that Vic and Tony did quite a job down there and deserve a great deal of credit.
Oh, they did that. Played wonderful tennis. You all three can...
Are they going to keep it next year?
Certainly going to try.
Fine, Bill. Will you go over and say hello to the panel, and thanks very much for being our guest. Very quickly, I want to remind... What'd you say, Fred?
It's wonderful, after all of the flying saucers, we have the cup here back in this country.
I was going to try to be serious for a minute, but I don't think I'll try. Not with Fred's hotter than 17 pistols tonight. So I just say it's been wonderful having Billy Talbot with us, and I know the panel joins me in that. We'll be back in just... Janet, may I say that you played the game wonderfully tonight, and I think Arlene Francis will be back next week. We'll feel that she has been very well represented.
Oh, thank you. I'm so
Now,
sorry
until
it's
next
over.
week, this is John Daly saying good night, Dorothy.
Good night, Fred.
Thank you, Dorothy. Good night. And you and I better have our own panel now, Janet, from now on.
Thank you, Fred.
We'll be out of work.
Good night,
What a
Dennis.
palpable past. Good night, Arlene. Good night, John.
And good night, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for being with us on What's My Line?
That's transportation for Mr. Jackson was arranged through American Airlines, the country's leading airline, now serving the United States, Mexico, and Canada. This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production in association with the CBS Television Network.